What is happening? Happy Wednesday. Man, it's White Woman Wednesday, and we got so many white women. They're phenomenal. Our girl Kylie is all over it. We got One Hit Wonder Wednesday, which is going to be delicious. I am pumped, man. What a day of fun and frivolity. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff here on The Magic Show today. It's funny, yesterday I was asking Ken, I was like, hey, you got your song? He's like, I already got my song. And Belle's got a song, and it's the kind of song you would think, too. Because he started playing it for me, and I'm like, no, I have no idea. And I've got a song for you guys today that is spectacular. Just want you to know that it is awesome. Plus, we're going to get to a whole bunch of stuff, including the healthcare debate, which needs to happen in this country. And I'm going to say something that, much like yesterday with Laura Loomer and her insanity, where I agree with her about not pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell or anybody or Diddy. I also have to say that, you know what? I find myself, oddly enough, agreeing more and more times with Marjorie Taylor Greene. I feel like she's matured enough that she's left a lot of that kookiness out there and is trying to build a path for herself in a normal way. So we'll talk about that. Ken, I have a bone to pick with the weather guy. I walked outside today, and I have to be honest, I was a little chilly. I was not expecting it to be chilly on my walk to work. I was like, what the hell is this?
And just turn the heat on.
I was walking, and I didn't bring a jacket. I mean, it wasn't freezing, but I expected 80 degrees with some humidity. I got like 64 with a bit of breeze.
Yeah, that those showers that moved through yesterday cooled it off.
Yeah, well, I don't know who you people think you are. Are we open at the airport? Is that happening today? Are we going to keep it?
Everything's back to normal.
Back to normal, baby. Back to normal. I like it. That's what we need. I know Burbank is still a mess. They're closing like one tower here. They're worried about Dallas. Once Dallas and Atlanta get sideways, man, everything goes sideways because they're such massive hubs. So that's good that they're getting back to normal. I mean, they may not get paid, but
it'll happen somewhere else.
Yeah, well, and like, Chris and I were saying, man, you know this, dude. You miss, even if it's your plane lands fine, which is always a good start to your next journey, and you think, okay, cool, we're not even getting off this plane. But then you find out that the pilots and the crew that were supposed to be there moving this plane somewhere else where they were going to, they don't arrive. That domino goes so fast. And this is the first time that we have kind of, I've heard people say, ooh, this isn't a good look for anybody. But nobody's taken the blame yet. That's the most important thing in this. So I just found out I'm like fungus. Did you know that? I'm like fungus, everybody. I grow on people. It's the white woman wins. Dude, I got so much. Ken, I have to stop. I had so much white woman stuff. I was telling Belle that like now all of my feed is just liberal white women screaming about stuff.
Are they wearing shirts?
Not always. Our girl Kylie has several provocative photos. Just putting that out there. She's a progressive with some provocative photos. Letting you guys know that. Letting you know that. So, and that the thing that Belle sent me, the fact that anybody would be excited for this. So he goes, Chad, you got to look at this article. I said, let me see it. It is a 126-year-old fossil. And what it did and how excited people got for this. I thought to myself, you went to school to get excited for this? We're going to talk about that, too. Some Israel stuff as well, and immigration. And obviously the whatever's going on. And I just saw that Trump called for...
Did you mean 126 million? Because you said 126,000.
126,000. That's what it says, not million.
Oh, okay. Well, you said 126.
Yeah, so, well, even then it would be weird, right? Like, even at that point, it would be weird when you guys hear this. The whole, like, Trump calling for these guys to be jailed, and then they're like, he's full of dementia. Johnson, the mayor of Chicago's like, he hates black people. It's like, what are you people doing? You're LARPing around, whining about crap. Do your jobs. Do your jobs. How about that? Just do the job. It's all you got to do. And your job is not to suck as bad as Lori Lightfoot, not to be arrested and put in jail like most of the governors from Illinois. Remember when there was like 3 of 4 governors were in jail for Illinois? That's the most corrupt in the world. Or at least our world was Illinois. Always been the most. That's the reason they call it the Windy City. It's not because of wind. It's Chicago. It's because of politics. So we'll talk a little bit about that as well. And just a bunch of other crazy stuff today, man. I'm pumped. I'm pumped, baby. Let's do this. Hey, did you see Trump in his TikTok? It was, how you doing? It's me. Hello, young people. That's what he said. Please. I saved TikTok, so you got to do something for me. That's so awesome. But all kidding aside, I say this, right? You know, everybody gets like, Chad, you need to pick a lane. No, my lane is Americans. That's my lane. I care about us. I don't care about politicians. I don't care about parties. I care about what's best for America. And Marjorie Taylor Greene, who, like I said, it's weird that I would even say that in any way, shape, or form that I have some sort of agreement, because let's be honest, in the past, she has said some stuff that's crazy. I think we can all understand that. But she's talking about something that is absolutely so important, and that is healthcare. And I mean the importance and the cost of healthcare, how ridiculously unaffordable life is becoming for many of you, because I hear it every single day. I do. And she is breaking away from, the right or whatever, because her kids said, look, Mom, I can't afford any of this. I can't afford health care. I can't afford to pay for any of this stuff. And she's been talking about this for a bit, and I've been saying it for a long time. I don't like Obamacare. I was totally against Obamacare. I said from the beginning, it was always meant to be a law. It was meant to withstand challenges in court. It was never meant to be health care. It's never meant to be the relationship between you and your doctor. It was meant to be, how can they protect themselves, the insurance companies, and they got a great way to do it. They help sculpt the law. They help write the law. But the subsidies going away, the cost is going to be insane. And when things are going up and away, remember, at the end of the day, it's the economy, stupid. It's affordability, stupid. And if people can't afford stuff, they're going to think, boy, this is stupid.
Well, if you follow my post, health insurance is something I've been talking about for quite a while. Insurance across the board, it's crushing people. The cost of living is gone so high in the past 4.5 years, and it hasn't come down. Rent is unaffordable. You can't buy a home. A lot of people don't even know if they'll ever be able to buy a home. But insurance premiums are unbelievably high.
Up and to the right.
Yep, and they're looking to go up. Not only people on the ACA, but people that have private plans as well. This is the #1 issue I hear about in my district. I work for Georgia's 14th district, and so I'm willing to take off team jerseys, so to speak, right now and call it literally like it is. This is a crisis in America, and I really want to work on it.
So Trump apparently is looking at this because he's starting to understand if stuff goes up too much and you're starting to have to make serious decisions about, keeping your lights on, paying rent, or paying for insurance, that is not a good place to be. That is not what people say. They didn't vote for that. And just to give you guys an idea, because a lot of people out there are going, oh, well, you know what? You should have insurance through your work. Not everybody does. And by the way, that's going up 20% on average. So I had a couple different things, do a breakdown, and my buddy sent me some stuff, and he's a big insurance, nerd. And so the average, if we're looking at medium price, the average income, the median income here, anywhere between, $80,000 to about $90,000. That's family of 4. That's kind of what they broke it down to. When you start breaking down how many people are here in Tennessee are on Obamacare, ACA, you start looking at this, it's like, okay, 600,000 people. Okay. And there's another I don't know how many are on healthcare through their work, but we're just looking at this right here. So with subsidies, depending on what you pick, right? Like what I picked? I picked the silver plan, the premium plan, the gold, whatever the hell that they've got. You're looking at a situation where you're seeing some pay, depending, again, $46 to $150, sometimes $200 a month, sometimes a little bit more. When you get up to the premium plans, you're seeing, you may be paying $400 a month or so, but that's all with the subsidies. You start taking those out, and you're seeing your insurance rise anywhere between $6,000 and $15,000 a year. That's not a winning hand. And as much as I hate Obamacare, and it didn't solve, and it never got cheaper, until you figure out what you're going to do to replace it, because you can't just tell everybody, just deal with it. Eventually, maybe the market will take care of itself. Well, why would the market take care of yourself? Because people are still going to have to try to figure out how to get health care. So, and everybody's like, why not go across state lines? Well, too many By the way, they offered the opportunity for most states to have a secondary state they work with so they can go across state lines. Nobody took them up. Too many regulations. They're worried too much about cherry picking. So I would say, okay, I can pick. Well, I'm only going to pick the healthy people from this state, right? I'm not going to pick the healthy people, the unhealthy people. So they were worried that it was going to be one of those things where you would have certain groups that had everybody who was 160 pounds and fit, and this other group was stuck with people who are, nutritional overachievers. So that wasn't going to work. Too many regulations from state to state. So we're stuck in this situation that we currently find ourselves in. And the Republicans whined and moaned for years about Obamacare. And they did all those phony votes, knowing full well that it would pass and it would just die on Obama's desk. Well, you got a chance to figure something out. You would do it. But if you yank the carpet out from underneath everybody, what you're going to find, it's still about winning elections. And they're going to say, you're the one who got rid of the subsidies. And because of that, we're going to hold you responsible. People are frustrated. I get it. Man, I get it. And we're not even talking about people like me over the last couple of years who's had to pay so much money, it's almost embarrassing for healthcare. Like, I could afford, through my what would be a mortgage payment, a $750,000 home for my healthcare. That's how much I was having to pay. And we've rarely used it. And it was so, the deductibles were so ridiculous. It was cheaper for us to pay cash for any prescription than it was just to even try to go through the other part. So there needs to be a fix. And she's talking about it. And that's a good thing. And if I'm the Republicans, I am all over it. Because if you look heartless and like, oh, we're going to let these things die and we don't care, people, remember what happened when they were close to getting rid of Obamacare, how much people freaked out about that. Just like what they do with TikTok. They start losing their mind. It's the same thing with this. So we'll talk a bit more about this. White Woman Wednesday. That was enough seriousness. Let's get to White Woman Wednesday. We got some good white women stuff. She was on a roll today. She was spectacular. She did like 7 videos in the space of like 2 hours. That is amazing. That really is. I didn't know there was that much inequity and evil in the world. But luckily, our girl from Brown shows us. Also, now, Ken, you've got your one-hit wonder, right? Ken's got his one-hit wonder. You got your one-hit wonder?
I got it.
Bell's got his. I've got mine. I'm pumped about mine today. It's awesome. It is so bad it's good. That's how much you guys are going to love it.
Yeah, a listener gave me a great one.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Really? Because Bell and I were going over, he's like, you like the 80s, Chad. Bell likes the obscure 70s, and you like hair metal.
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of who we are. That's who we are as a team. If you're missing the show, shame on you. Grab the podcast. White Woman Wednesday straight ahead. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997. An arrest, huh? For the Palisades fire.
Finally found someone.
You know who should arrest? The state officials who didn't turn the water on. How about that, too? I want to see what that arrest looks like. Because that is still not building anything, by the way. I know they're cutting the red tape, but they have to cut the red tape to cut the red tape to cut the red tape. So be prepared. I think they've issued like 2 permits.
Just for, and that's for 2 structures?
2 structures. My buddy's...
I mean, is anybody moving back there?
No. My buddy's, he was in Mexico for like 6 months, and now he's back. Now he's in Orange County. And he's like, we're never going to move back. My kids, it was like their 10th or 11th grade year. He goes, they're never moving back. They're never going to see their friends like that again. They're never going to play. That's it. It's over. Their life has changed. And it's not coming back anytime soon. Nobody's going to be moving back there. Mm-mm. And that's, the government, if it was up to them, they'd love it. California. White Woman Wednesday, we love her. Her name is Kylie. She's great. She went to Brown. That is according to my friend Belle. And ladies, don't fall for the alt-right, super conservative propaganda.
Hi, I'm Kylie, and here are 4 types of conservative propaganda marketed towards women. A lot of people talk about the alt-right pipeline for men, but it can be just as dangerous for women. Number 1, clean girl aesthetic. There is nothing inherently clean or dirty about dressing in certain ways. It's normal to have acne in your 20s, to go out and be feral and meet people. You aren't better than other women because you stay home. If you want to stay home, do it. Number 2, Nara Smith. Yeah, while it's cute to see how she cooks for her children and all the homemade stuff she makes, it ultimately is trad wife content. And Nara Smith is not a trad wife. She probably makes millions of dollars a year from her content. She is employed, in addition to being a wife and a mother, so don't let that fool you. Number 3, holistic health and wellness. No, you can't heal measles with chicken soup. You need vaccines. These types of videos often seem harmless, but quickly lead into anti-vax content, and that is very dangerous for everybody. Number 4, high-value woman content. To say high value often means that you're saying that some women are worth more inherently than others, which just isn't true, because all women are beautiful and amazing.
No, they're not. I've seen some women that are not beautiful and or amazing. Just like I've seen men that way. And I think we know that that's true. So don't fall for that, ladies. If that's you guys, do not fall for any of that stuff. Don't be a trad wife, which is a traditional wife, where you stay at home and you cook and you clean. Don't do that at all. That's bad. Unless, of course, you can make millions doing it. Then do it. You got to watch out, man. You're going to get this conservative mind melt. She is so awesome. She is. And I'm thinking to myself, how do you think of this? Like, do you just troll right-leaning TikTok? If that's, well, that's probably there. I don't know. Do you go to right-leaning Instagram? I don't know. To find, like, to where you come up with this anger or, stuff. But ladies, don't fall for this conservative wackiness. I don't know too many. I know some conservative women. I don't know any trad wives. I mean, I guess people say my wife's a trad wife, but not like the ones you see, right? On the ones you see that are all dressed like it's the 50s, right? And their husband comes home, they give him a smoking jacket. Yeah, that's not real. My wife looks at me and she's like, your daughter's driving me crazy. Well, I'm like, it happens to be your daughter as well. So sounds like driving everybody crazy. So yeah, no, but she's just a traditional wife. But the trad, everything has to have a saying nowadays. Trad wife. Like I was telling Belle yesterday. So if you guys see me, if you're not looking on the YouTube, I'm holding up my my drink, which it's First Form Energy. I like it. But I was telling him that one of the urban words I learned, this is a refrigerator cigarette. The energy drink is a fridge cigarette. So instead of getting that hit of caffeine, you get a hit of this. It's a fridge cigarette. Just to let you guys know. See, now you learned something new today. Later on, we'll teach you 6-7. If you don't know what that is, that's like the biggest thing that the kids are doing. Some of you are going, my kids say that. I'll tell you what it is. One Hit Wonder Wednesday, straight ahead. Tons of stuff still to get to, including somebody apparently arrested in California for the fire. Not from California. Florida man, I'm looking at you. If you missed any of the show, shame on you. Grab the podcast. One Hit Wonder Wednesday, straight ahead. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997.
Some fans were worried, but Dolly says, I ain't dead yet. Details coming up at 1 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
She's one of the white women we like, by the way.
Love her.
Love Dolly. National treasure.
I'm telling you, dude, I would pass right out in her presence.
Would you?
If she was walking to a room where I am, I think I'd pass right out.
And she would be flattered by it, too.
She'd probably get mad at me.
No, I don't think so. Well, she'd probably say, Ken, you don't have to do that, sugar.
She'd say, who is this fat boy?
Who's this little guy?
Who's this little fella? But yeah, I'm telling you, man, if I was ever somewhere and she came in the room, dude, I'd pass right out.
I feel like, and I want this to be true, no matter where you meet her, she is as genuine and as real as it gets.
That's what I hear.
You know, some people are like that. Some people, and then some people you just don't want to know.
Right.
But some people, you know, they're like that. And you know, so don't meet your heroes. But she's one of those ones where I think no matter where you are, she is going to just be as kind and as sweet and as real because it's not a show. It's just who she is, how she was raised. Speaking of how you were raised, white people, I want you to understand something. Your racist jokes aren't funny.
Talk about how in white social circles, when you're not racist, you get called boring. Obviously, not all white people, but a lot of conservative people who find this type of humor funny. Like any joke that's based off of a characteristic that you can't control. So making fun of somebody's gender, sexuality, race, etc. And suddenly when you're like, hey, I don't think this is funny nor creative, I'm gonna put some of the jokes on the screen that are pretty commonly used, then suddenly you're boring. Suddenly you don't know how to have fun. Have you ever considered the possibility that you're just not funny?
Nope.
That you're just repeating jokes that have been used for decades? And that any joke that makes race a punchline genuinely is just not clever enough to warrant a laugh. And whenever you stand up to these people in these social circles, they will call you a liberal, boring, or too woke. I grew up around a lot of people like this because a lot of my friends' parents were like this. There are a lot more conservative people in California than most people realize. But no, your racist joke isn't funny. And yes, I have a sense of humor. That's just not funny.
Now, I have yet to see her sense of humor. I'm sure she has one. Kind of like, you know, Lenin had a sense of humor in Russia. Do you know that Lenin, there's a great book out about who he is, you know, not John Lennon, but that he hated laughter and humor. He absolutely just, they said he was the most unfunny, did not care about, he was like, everything was serious. Don't be that way. It's not good for you. And she knows funny. She reminds me of, what's his name? Bruno Kirby from Good Morning Vietnam. I know humor. I'm funny. That was funny. Yeah, no. And the racist, not every joke is racist. And sometimes, let's be real, there are people out there that say stuff and you're like, I shouldn't laugh at that, but I'm going to. Not me. I'm not that way because I'm learning. Ken and I do the work. Belle, not so much. Ken and I absolutely do the work. Several of you are chiming in. Next hour, we're going to get into the healthcare thing because we got to figure some stuff out when it comes to healthcare. And a lot of you have been sending me how much your health care is now, even with Obamacare. And the thought that it's going to go up, potentially double. Are you going to be able to afford that? Want to hear from you? Text the line. Love hearing from each and every one of you. You can also tweet at us, at Chad Benson Show. We've got that coming up. We've got a bunch of, we'll talk a little bit about Comey. We're also going to talk about what's really going on in Chicago and Portland because it's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. We'll talk a little bit about that as well and a bunch of other good stuff, kids. We'll also find out if the airport's open and the primary last night. Who won? Was it me? No. But you know what? I may have come in third. I don't know. And it didn't cost me anything to do that. If you missed any of the show, shame! Chad Benson Show, Super Talk, 997.